All right, hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Crazy Events in Washington, D.C. And I am joined once again by the lovely Erica Gamma, or known
Gemma.
on Gemma. Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't usually call you by your last name.
Yeah, I know.
I like Gamma better.
Gamma.
And yes.
Gamma
And
rays.
known on Twitter as Bank of Erica.
Like Bank of America.
Yeah.
Because you guys can all be your own bank with Bitcoin.
Yeah, the tone-based introductions are always exciting. All right, you keep disappearing, which is
I
also
know.
funny.
I'm trying not to move, but
Yeah.
like
I'm always having gear and tech problems. But hey, guys, I wanted to bring you this one last stream. I know people A, don't want to hear politics, and B, are scared of me talking about politics because it's going to lead to me losing my YouTube channel. So hopefully, YouTube will not ban me permanently. They might ban this video, but we're just going to talk about the events of Washington, D.C. this weekend before, or as we are getting the hell out of Dodge. But the events have ended. People have lives. People have jobs. Not all people, but most people have jobs that they have to get back to. But we're gonna give you a little recap. We did spend 1.5 days with PB. We're not gonna say certain names. We're not gonna say certain organizations by name. We're just gonna reference them. What we saw, what went down, and I will, glance at the price of Bitcoin as we go along. We do have a chat right here on the side. Erica, if you ladies are able to multitask better than guys, so if you are able to keep an eye on both the chat while I navigate the screen, though I am about to go to screen share, and that will be more challenging for you to do. So let's hold off on the chat. Hey guys, we're gonna glance at the chat in 1 second. I want to glance at the price of Bitcoin, and then we are gonna talk about what happened in Washington, D.C. this past weekend. All right. You can also pull it up on
YouTube.
on YouTube, yeah, if you want.
Bitcoin's up.
And for some reason, I cannot share an application. I don't know why it does that to me sometimes. And that is a little more problematic because if I'm going to be doxing my entire monitor, let's make sure there's no crazy tabs.
Sorry.
All right. All right, we're going to share the full screen. This is my Twitter, and we're gonna get to this because this is how you get lots of misconceptions. This is what the media will show you, and this is what really happened. And some really nice people ended up getting stabbed. Several. One is in very critical condition, and one is in. He'll be okay, but he's probably going to be in the hospital for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm hoping there'll be a lot of malpractice surrounding him. He's got some bounties out.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let's glance at the price of Bitcoin and see what's going on. As always, we've started a new week. That's exciting. This week is really important, really, really important. We are looking at consolidation near the top. We have had 3 arrows having to do with the MRI, the actual MRI top, and a pair of extensions that have completed. If this week starts trading above the prior 2 weeks, I become bullish on a weekly scale. If today starts trading above this blue line, basically, if today starts trading above, well, by today, I already mean tomorrow. So if tomorrow, and for people in Asia, it's already today, but if the current candle starts trading above yesterday's candle, then that is a daily bullish sign for me. Even though we are in the extension A with the red arrow, I don't really care about that. So we are on the verge of going bullish short term. We are on a verge of going bullish weekly term. We're about to turn bullish again across all time frames. This is the 4 hour. Again, there's a line in the sand right here on the 4 hour. Normally, I like to use the tops of the bodies. I'm going to be a little more conservative this time, and I'm going to need it to go above the swing high. So I'm going to get a little more conservative here with the price of Bitcoin. The future should already be trading, so I will take a look at gold, and see what it's doing. It's consolidating with a reddish candle, nothing really interesting. And I'm going to glance at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is starting off in the futures market rallying. So that's a pretty good sign, and that is a bullish sign. Okay, that is our update on I'm gonna bring this up here. That's your live chat, so you guys can all see it as well. Let's see if there's any good questions. Isn't it tomorrow in China? Well, yeah, it depends where you are. Obviously, we are in the US, East Coast at the moment, and it is already tomorrow in China.
Yeah, it's about to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
In
Europe as well, yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, you keep disappearing.
I don't know. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to move, but like I'm just talking and I'm disappearing.
Yeah, I don't know. And like we've switched sides, and she's still disappearing. So it's not the side.
I think it's because I'm yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, I need more racial issues. I need more racial issues on this channel. That's perfect. Thank you for that. I hear you twice now. Okay, so let me just glance at my Twitter real quick. I've been really busy, guys, and I have not had a chance to go through all of the notifications that I get on my channel. We can go straight to the mentions and we can look through them. Keep up the fight. Alex Jones was right. I have no idea what this is. What is this? Vandals hit black churches in DC during pro-Trump rally. What is this? Have you heard this?
No.
Should we click on it and look?
Yeah, let's see. Politico. Oh my God.
Politico.
Why are we even open?
So let me see. Vandals tore down the Black Lives Matter banner sign. Perfect. Yeah. From the two historic black churches. All right, we're gonna talk about that. So you're right. There was two. But I mean, I know more information now. I was able to talk to many people today. Yeah. So this whole article is about the crazy vandals that tore down a couple of signs of an organization has turned pretty violent.
Yeah.
Not only against personal property, but also against other people. And I didn't see this flag.
I did see that flag, yeah.
Okay. But that's not the Confederate flag. That's the original US flag. So no one should complain about this flag. Now, there were complaints that there were Confederate flags. I did not see any Confederate flags.
I didn't see any Confederate flags.
And we were there the whole time.
Yeah.
Pretty much near the front lines, and we did not see any Confederate flags. Of course, you guys don't have to believe us. Like you can sit here and say we're lying, but I have a reputation of being a pretty honest person. If I saw a Confederate flag, I would tell you I saw a Confederate flag.
For us to lie about it, like.
Well, okay. People can look at us and think that we're defending it. So, okay. So you wrote. I mean, they actually wrote an entire article about the crazy vandals ripping two signs. Do they realize that most of all the other protests we had all over the summer, the whole point of those, not the whole point, but the majority of those protests cannot walk down the street without vandalizing something, without breaking a window. Private businesses without breaking a car, breaking windows, setting cars on fire. So no, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, they tore down a couple of Black Lives Matter signs. One of them they did burn. Now there's a reason why they burned that sign.
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys the reason for that. So after they took away one of the big Black Lives Matter signs, about 4 individuals from Black Lives Matter came up and
they followed us back to the safe spot. Yeah.
Followed back to the safe spot and decided to take their banner back with knives. And that is how you end up with this situation. Where is it? That picture on my profile that you saw earlier with a knife. And oh, this is the other thing I was going to show, but I need to do it from here. 1 second. This was, somebody sent this to me. It's in this group here. I got it. Try it. Here, this is the picture. So, oh yeah, guys, by the way, if I have so many imposters and scammers,
Yeah.
if a Tone Vase messages you
It's not good.
asking you for money, ask him for money first. Okay. Like the moment the moment if you hear me ask you for money, say, oh shit, Tone, glad you texted me. I'm really broke. Can you send me $100 in Bitcoin? Okay, that's the best way to get rid of a Tone-based scammer. Just keep begging them for money. So
this is Jeremy, Noble Beard. You guys should follow him on
well, he's on Parlor.
He's on Parlor because obviously all the other all the Proud Boys, the PBs get kicked off of every other social platform.
So yeah, so you can follow him on Parlor. I guess I need to start using Parlor.
You guys start following Toad on Parlor just in case he gets kicked off of YouTube.
Well, and more like Twitter. But I am on. You keep disappearing. That's
I don't know why. It's so weird. I think it's because my hair is like grayish.
I don't know. You want to tie it up? Do you have a?
I can try. You can try. Look, maybe it is because my hair is gray.
Maybe it is the hair.
And because it's like a green screen. Okay, let's see. Anyways.
Okay, so let me make sure I have the right setting for actually no green screen.
Yeah.
Choose visual background. Make sure my green screen is turned off. It is. My green screen is turned off.
Yeah,
okay, what if I do this? No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I just doesn't like them.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Anyway, we'll do what we can.
Okay.
So Noble Beard, he was one of the 4 PBs that ended up getting stabbed. It didn't seem that well from my point of view because I saw him standing afterwards, talking to the cops.
He was okay.
And he seemed okay. But then they took him to the hospital, and the latest reports are he's not really okay. I
mean, the thing is that he was fine. Like he was cracking jokes.
Big, strong guy, and but like like it's not the movies, guys. Like if a knife pierces you and it actually like even punctures one of your small intestine, even as a pinhole, that's a problem because that's toxicity going through your body, and that's not an easy thing to fix. You have to basically cut you open in full. And so he's gonna be in the hospital for quite a while. Especially because the first thing that they did when he got in the hospital was diagnose him with corona. Oh yeah, he immediately had corona. Corona. I'm like, dude, this guy's fine. He's just like, oh. And also what's interesting is that, so this is what happened, right? So people came back to, I think, to retrieve that BLM sign. And what happened was most of the Proud Boys really aren't very violent. So a couple of them came in, and the Proud Boys who were like older and a little bit more sane, what they were doing was they were walking out the BLM people that came in to retrieve the sign, so that way the crazy like Proud Boys who were drunk and just like super rowdy wouldn't actually hurt them. So they're walking them out, and Jeremy is over here watching this happen. Noble Beard, it's called Noble Beard. So if you it's easy to recognize. Yeah, Noble Beard is there watching this happen, like a group of them walking the guys out so they don't get beat up, and then another BLM person runs in and just stabs him. Like, and the thing is like it's very strategic because Noble Beard is a leader and one of the leaders in the movement. And you saw that sign. There was a bounty out on him. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. On your Twitter, there's a bounty. Like I just showed that picture. That was the bounty on him because he is one of the leaders, and that picture, that is a bounty on him pretty much. So and plus what happened, because like if you guys know who like Bevelin B is, if you're a patriot and you're into the movement. This is so annoying that I keep disappearing. I know. But like, if you know who Bevelin B is, I'm trying, but there we go. If you know who Bevelin B is, I'm just literally moving my lips. Oh God. But anyway, so she's a patriot, and she got stabbed on election night, and Enrique was there. I mean, the chairman was there as well. And just staring at my channel, man. It's so funny because she put out this video while she was a little bit high on whatever drugs they were giving her, and she at the hospital. She's like on these drugs. She starts saying like, "Hey, they're not really taking care of me." She tells them the name of the hospital, and then all of a sudden, all of her fans start calling the hospital, and then they all start calling the hospital, and then what happened was they changed her doctor. They finally started taking care of her, and they actually got her out.
malpractice happens in hospitals all the time, especially when you have high profile people like Noble Beard that are in there. And what's weird is like somebody just got stabbed, but they don't allow you to have your family visit you. You can't visit unless you have the same last name. And so I don't know. It's just a very, very bad situation. And you guys need to be careful going into hospitals when you don't really need to. Malpractice, we think we go into hospitals and it's this beautiful, like magical place where they want to heal your bodies. But malpractice happens so much.
Yeah. So, and the first thing they'll do is they'll find a way to diagnose you with COVID, because
Yeah.
if you are in the hospital and you have COVID, the hospital profits from that. So it's in the hospital's incentive to immediately find a way to diagnose you with COVID. Okay. And then if you actually die of COVID in the hospital, I think they make more money.
Exactly.
So I'm not here to give medical advice, but be freaking careful. If they want to put you on a ventilator, make sure you get a third opinion on that one.
AKA, don't do it. You need oxygen if something's actually wrong with you. But yeah, you're
I'm
right.
I'm trying not to give medical advice, but okay. So, so we got more because people were asking what happened with that stabbing, because the media is going to make it out to be, oh, this poor BLM or Antifa person was getting attacked and they stabbed in self-defense. No, that's not what happened. Noble Beard was actually a lot of the, especially the top people from PB, they don't want to actually like hurt someone unless it's absolutely necessary. So he's literally walking one out before he gets really beaten up, and then someone else runs up and stabs him.
Yeah.
So that's it's very, very cowardly as to how it's done, and so that explains that situation. Now this situation we really can't fully explain yet. We're still trying to get to the bottom of this. We're gonna watch it one more time. Oh, my bad. All right, so whoever that is, and I explain. So this person with, yes, that is a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
But that is not a member of PB.
Exactly.
Okay. So in this group, there was actually very few PB members.
Exactly.
So one of the problems that PB members have is, and I hope you guys know what I'm talking about when I say PB, but we're trying to just we're reporters. We're trying to analyze the situation because we were there, and so PB members don't always like having what they refer to as normies around, and the disappearing Erica here and myself are considered as normies. And because some of the normies that are joining, they do want to be violent, and that's not what PB stands for. Yes, they are ready to clash with Antifa. The reason for them being out in the street and not a drinking club indoors like they're supposed to be is because of Antifa. If
it wasn't for Antifa and BLM, they wouldn't exist.
Right. So if the police did their job and actually dealt with the violent protesters, the situation in Portland, Antifa taking over, if the police did their job, PB would not have to be out in the streets trying to kind of protect people. And the media demonizes them every step of the way while completely defending Antifa and the violent side of BLM.
I mean, we even saw it last night, like in real life, you know. And the thing too about the PBs is that like if you want to destroy a society, the first thing you destroy is you destroy the men, right? You give them no power, you feminize them, and then therefore women start understanding roles differently a little bit. But really, it's just like they're just destroying men. And so talking to these guys and be like, hey, why did you join the Proud Boys? You know, and the reason why they say is that they saw BLM and Antifa attacking innocent people, mostly like older people, mostly children, mostly young people, and the cops were doing nothing. And so as a man, what are you supposed to do other than defend these people? Men are defenders. So This light likes me.
No, we can try turning that
Turn it
off.
off.
Maybe it's better. Maybe.
Wow.
Nope, you're still
Nope.
disappearing. All right, but I think it's better without the light.
Regardless.
Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna look at your live chat in a second, guys. So we're not doing live chat. Okay, now here's the other thing. If these people were what we call normies, they would not have like again, we were there all night. No civilians, no regular like civilians. I know we're not in a war situation, but like peaceful people did not get attacked by this group. So if these people were being attacked, they must have been identified as Antifa. Now I can't guarantee that because I wasn't there, but based on my experience of that entire day, like people were cheering on, like, oh, proud PB is here, PB is here.
Yeah, they had so much love in the streets.
Including the police.
Yeah.
The police were not, I mean, they weren't cheering, but they did, this group did not antagonize the police. In fact, they were screaming at the police to do their job and deal with the Antifa and BLM.
Yeah.
So these guys were not a threat to law enforcement. They were not a threat
If
to
anything,
private
they, like,
property.
back the blue is what
Yeah.
they say.
Back to blue, they were
chanting,
screaming as well.
yeah.
I know there was this big movement of defund the police.
Yeah.
And I really liked what Joe Rogan said about that movement. He said, no, the police need more funding so they can get better training.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that is badly needed, better training for the police, but there's a bigger issue with the police. The police, along with other government employees like police and firefighters, they need to get out of this mentality of protecting your own. If your own is doing something wrong, they need to go. I think that is the biggest problem with police, is that they protect their own too much. And we deal with this in the crypto space. I don't protect my own in the crypto space.
Yeah.
I'll tell anyone in the crypto space to go fuck themselves. Well, oh yeah, we can take off the. Oh, we've seen enough. We can take that off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can be disappearing on the big screen. All right. Yeah, we don't know how to solve that problem. We really don't. I don't think that's gonna stay there. That's not gonna stay there. I can try to like change the camera or something.
Maybe make it lower. Yeah.
It's only a camera. I have another camera I can try.
No, it's okay. Let's see. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
It's a back row.
Okay.
So look, one of the problems is the police protect their own too much, and that's one of the biggest issues. We have the same issue in the crypto space. I don't defend our own. Just because you're in a crypto space doesn't mean we have to be friends. And I've certainly made plenty of enemies. This
is so annoying. It's like, am I not supposed to be on the stream or something? I don't understand. Apparently.
I'm gonna try a different camera.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So chat away. Do your rant. Okay.
Do my rant.
Also, about PB is considered to be like male chauvinist, racist, against women, and I explained yesterday how, from what I saw, it's the complete opposite. They
defend women. I feel women. So safe.
They women were afraid to walk away from this group because they were afraid to go anywhere. But with that group, they're being defended.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Proud Boys to me are the last of a dying breed of men, because what you have is there are many people who feel like our country is being lost. Obviously, if Joe Biden wins, not just capital gains, baby, okay? Everything else is going to be taken away. You're going to be forced to get a vaccine. They're going to take the mile. They're going to take it inch by inch by inch, okay? And if Biden, Harris, and also Janet Yellen is in office, we're going to have a lot of problems, especially as people that are into cryptocurrencies. So I think that when you see, as a man, when you see these issues just these issues, like, what are you supposed to do? The police aren't standing up, and it's not even that the police aren't standing up, but there's certain things that they can't do that civilians can do.
And media is even worse. The media is encouraging, and you can see by what the media is doing. They are basically. Let me see if it's
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because like there's a video of the PBs like beating this guy up, but it's like you don't there's no backstory to it. They don't understand that the reason why they're beating that guy up is because he just stabbed like two Proud Boys. So like what are they supposed to do?
Right, right. So that video of the guy getting beaten up, the one wearing all black, that's because he just stabbed someone.
Yeah.
And like, what are you gonna do if you're with a group of your guys and one of them got stabbed? What are you guys gonna do to that guy that just stabbed him?
Yeah.
So
And really, like
yeah.
they're not violent. They're very reactionary. Like if BLM and Antifa did not exist, there would be no need to have Proud Boys because they would just be a drinking club that stays and drinks inside. But they need to defend. And when you're seeing yesterday, is you're seeing everybody be so happy that they're there because they actually feel safer. Like I feel like I can't even walk around with like an American flag because then I'll be identified. And yeah, I just don't want to deal with it.
All right, so let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat.
Yeah, the media is Marxist. The media is absolutely Marxist.
Yes,
and it's so like you were
100%.
saying earlier, it's like, oh my God, they ripped
100%.
down one BLM sign. Okay, now BLM. Okay, this is what I tell people. Hashtag all Black Lives Matter. Absolutely internally true. All Black Lives Matter. Hashtag BLM is a Marxist movement that directly funds the DNC. It's completely crooked. And so we can't take what the media tells us and what they show us to be as truth because everything that makes it on TV has a dollar value behind it. It's like you think things don't just show up on TV. It's like they're selling you something for sure. And if it's not a product, they're selling you a lifestyle, they're selling you an idea. And all of these people, and I feel bad for them because especially in DC, it's like they're just the useful idiots. And they're gonna have no position in the hierarchy. But talking to the Proud Boys too, it's like there's an Antifa girl that was talking to the chairman and she's like, you guys are cool and I like your movement, but we have snacks.
Right.
They literally have snacks.
Yeah,
they're well funded.
Right. They attend the rallies for the free food. This is back when I was in the university. The best way to get the college students of your dorm to like a meeting in the dorm is to offer free pizza.
Yeah.
And it worked. I wish they wouldn't offer me free pizza. I would have been in better shape back then too.
Yeah, but last night was interesting because the DC cops, I think, because if you guys saw the videos from the first Trump rally and from this one, the DC police definitely had it locked down this time. So there wasn't that many brawls at all, actually.
Right. They really have to like stretch to find violence at this event, and they did stretch. They got that one video of the BLM guy that just stabbed someone that everyone respects from that group. So he got beaten up for stabbing someone. And then we're still not sure the story behind that those three people or two people, the couple that got roughed up. We don't know the story on that.
We'll figure it out.
And yes, a BLM sign got burned. Now we're talking 6 to 7 hours of close to 1,000 people marching the streets for 7 hours. And that's all the violence you can get out of it. That is pretty much a miracle.
Pretty much.
Imagine if it was Antifa or the BLM march with 1,000 people for 6 hours at night.
Gucci would have already been robbed, okay?
Yeah. Imagine how many cars would have been destroyed, businesses looted.
Private businesses. It doesn't matter.
People in wheelchairs knocked over. None of that was here. There were people with like kids. There were like people. There was like one woman with like a baby strapped to her body, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is not a good idea."
Yeah.
Like, look, you're pretty safe in this crowd, but if this crowd walks up on, and Antifa had a big presence there too. If
the word on the street was there was like probably 400 Antifa there.
Right, and the cops actually did a good job making sure that the groups didn't clash.
They did.
They did, because the groups were ready to clash. And the thing that scares me a little bit is that the Antifa side, they had more deadly weapons because PB the group that we were with, I mean, they had like batons and like a couple of, like some sticks and
Yeah.
like things like that. And a couple of guys had like, knives hanging on the side, but like small ones, like legal ones. But they had like everything legal. The other side probably would have had guns.
Yeah.
No, and again, like when you have four people coming in to get that banner with knives, that's pretty scary, and it's not cool either. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it does get scary, when someone. It happened like 50 feet away from me where he got stabbed. I
Yeah.
just couldn't see it because there was like everyone just ran to help, and they were all in front of me. So I
I
will.
like climbed up on a light pole so I could see what
Yeah.
was going on. Here's
So
okay, so hold on. Let's just talk to Big A. He covered charts at the beginning. So
I covered just in the beginning.
yeah,
I must
hers
have
is the
charted.
beginning.
Also, I didn't title this as a chart show.
Exactly. So you guys should just stop doing that. Like if you know this is not a chart show, then like,
Yeah.
read.
Well,
I don't
I
know,
do have less
read.
views. At 500 yesterday was a chart show. I only have 200 now.
Yeah, people probably just
look,
less into the politics.
Um,
I'm a trans dude. Can you join Proud Boys? Yes, actually you can.
okay, so here's the thing.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this.
So we got to talk about like those that do end up joining or whatever. Those look, it's completely inclusive. Like there's no discrimination. Oh yeah, we should have done that with this camera. There you go. I think you're gonna stop disappearing now.
Yeah.
So they're not discriminatory. Anyone can join. There is a creative hazing process that is more fun and jokey than anything else. I'm sure. Actually, I should show a video yesterday. There were videos. It's more of a fun and jokey process. But here's the thing: people constantly get kicked out of PB clubs, and they get kicked out. The main reason they get kicked out is they are discovered to be racist. So the fastest way to get kicked out as a member of PB is if other PB members see you as racist, you get kicked out. If they also see you as joining for the oh boy.
I know. I gotta put where I stand.
To get him to you. Okay, yeah.
There you go. My better now.
Okay. And the fastest way to get kicked out is to present the illusion of being. All right. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I don't know. The camera. Maybe you're a vampire.
It's probably it. My soul.
But the fastest way to get kicked out is if you're viewed as racist. The second fastest way to get kicked out, or first, doesn't matter. You get kicked out if they see you as joining it for the purposes of being violent. You will also get kicked out. Granted, I will say a couple of the guys did get drunk and they were looking for a fight, and they were kind of upset that the fight didn't come to them. But these are the guys that tend to need to be calmed down by the other members of PB, and it kind of leads to some clashes and occasional fights within PB. But that's literally because some guys are being too violent or they got too drunk. And then when you see a scuffle, no, it's not that there is internal beef. It's just that some guy got a little too drunk and he needed to be handled before he causes trouble that ends up on the news.
And if you guys watch, there's like a CNN expose that they did on an ex-Proud Boy, right? And then you watch it and you see how this guy talks, and it's like no wonder he's an ex-Proud Boy. They allowed him to be in, and then he said all this crazy stuff, and now he's gone. So show me any black person. There was definitely so many.
Yeah.
And plus the chairman is freaking Afro-Cuban. He's black and Cuban. I mean, if you look at the Miami chapter, they're literally all speak Spanish. They're all Cuban. But not only that, but there's so many black Proud Boys. It's like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
I'll cover Bitcoin in a second, guys.
But it's also like it doesn't even matter. Like, does it really matter what skin color people are? Like, it doesn't. It's fucking melanin balance.
Look, everyone is welcome. Any race is welcome. Yes, there were black people there. There were Asian people there. I was talking yesterday about how the anti-CCP Chinese were all over this.
Did you get any of their flyers?
I don't have them on me, but like, were they good?
Should I grab one?
Yeah, grab one. I actually want one. And look, anyone's welcome. The problem is, like, one of the reasons why there are not a lot of black members of PB is because they're demonized as racist. So
you go on a scale from you're either racist or what do they call you, like a coon or
okay, I saw that one. This is the one I wanted
that
to
one,
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're either racist or you're like their token black person. Like, come on, you guys. Everybody has independent thought. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. And
Yeah, so these were, oh God, we can't see it.
you know what it is? It's all the Chinese things. They're trying to get rid of all the Chinese
It's
things.
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Anyway, yeah, so there were a lot of anti-CCP flyers. You don't see any anti-CCP flyers at Biden rallies. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
Probably the CCP is going to be passing out flyers at Biden rallies.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's completely inclusive, and they're racist. They're also. Can you explain the difference between a Western chauvinist and a chauvinist?
So if you guys go to their website, you can either go to 1776.shop or you can go to proudboys.usa. It's proudboys.usa that has their tenants, right? And one of the things that they say is, I am a proud Western chauvinist. And when people, when they hear chauvinist, they automatically think male chauvinist. But no, they're a Western chauvinist. The word chauvinist is a synonym for like maximalist, right? They are a proud Western chauvinist, so they believe that the West is the best. And what does that mean? That they're proud of their country. What's interesting, and so anyways, people think like male chauvinist, but it's not. It's a Western chauvinist. And now what you're seeing is most of these people, especially the ones in leadership, they escaped communism. They've seen communism firsthand, and they're like, oh my God, we escaped this, we flee this, and now we're not going to let this happen in our home country. And most of these guys, it's like they're generally older. Like I would say most of them are like 35 plus. Most of them have been in the military. They fought for our country. A lot of them are veterans, and they're just not going to let what's happening in the streets just happen. And they're taking personal responsibility. They're not going to depend on other people to be able to defend their country when, I mean, we are the only lines of defense. We really are. Gavin is a comedian. Yeah, Gavin started it.
I gotta make somebody moderator. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
No more toxic masculinity. Exactly. Toxic masculinity. You know what happens when you don't allow men to be men? The current world we're in, where everybody
get Antifa.
Yeah, soy boys. And the thing about Antifa is like Antifa's fairly young, right? And so what they are is they're people who never worked a damn day in their life. They sit in their basement, they play their video games, and they think that they understand the real world, and they just don't. And so it's like, yeah, definitely bad. Wondering how many PVs got kicked out of the military. I don't know.
Probably no different, normal percentage.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people get kicked out of the military. Some people want to get kicked out of the military because they realize what the hell they got into.
Erica is trans. Is she allowed in the Proud Boys? Thanks. Thank you.
All right, let me cover some Bitcoin a little bit. Let me go to screen share. I don't know why I can't do a monitor, but it's okay. Why I can't do an application. So, hey, there you are.
Yeah, who's your favorite Proud Boy?
Oh man, you know, I really like Noble Beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, chairman's cool too.
Yeah.
Of course. No, I haven't spent enough time with a bunch of them. Had
What about,
lunch with another one. We're gonna go like nicknames.
Yeah, nicknames only.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it on the DL. Don't want to get doxxed.
No, Tank is great.
Tank is cool. Hey,
Yeah,
Tank,
Tank.
what's up?
Hey, Tank, if you're watching, it was great having a beer.
Oh, also Alex Jones, and we got to talk about like some updates on what's happening in the election for people that are worried, because we were there.
I actually don't know what's happening with the election. Let me just go at the price of Bitcoin here.
Bitcoin price, and let me.
So here's the weekly chart. The weekly chart. Oh, the candle is not white anymore. So we have to wait. We're in consolidation mode, but I'm starting to turn bullish slowly, but I'm not ready to enter a position yet. I can't enter a position right now anyway because the markets are closed. But tomorrow I am ready to put money back into GBTC if we cross above this blue line. Now I am really busy in the morning tomorrow, so I may not even get the chance to do anything tomorrow. I hope I get a chance. I really hope I don't miss this opportunity. But if I was in front of a computer all day tomorrow, I would consider going long in GBTC above 19,400. I need that to break. this is the short-term chart. Same thing. There's my line, 19,400. That's my line in the sand to go back to being bullish. There's not much else to add. Gold is not doing anything, and the stock market is slightly rising here in the futures. So that is kind of it. There's really not much else. I can take a look at your live chat again, and we can answer some more questions because oh, there was another question. How come PB is like has this reputation? And that's
Yeah.
because of the media.
Because
That's
the media.
because of the media, and the media will like it feels like it's gotten worse and worse and worse where the mainstream media is telling you everything the complete opposite. They're literally telling you the opposite of what it is. If you assume that everything the media says, it's literally the exact opposite, you will be red pilled. You will be 90% right. It's kind of like when I say all shit coins are scams. In reality, only 99% of shit coins are scams, and 1% is probably okay. But I don't know what that 1% is. So by assuming that every single shitcoin is a scam, I will be 99% correct. And don't you love to go to a casino where you are 99% correct?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can do the same thing with the mainstream media. Anything you see on CNN that doesn't relate to, say, a hurricane's coming, and even that they'll probably screw that up backwards.
They just
But
because they sell supplies.
right. So anything that is controversial, assume they're telling you the complete opposite of what is actually happening. All right. Live chat. Let me see. Let me see if there's any other interesting questions here.
I know they should. Yeah, what's your position on Bitcoin dominance?
I mean, there's no position. It's you look at it, and it's about 65% Bitcoin. So that means there's 35% stupid in the crypto space, and that's always been the position.
So after tomorrow, Trump is done. No, actually. So
yeah. So what's going on with that? Give us an update.
Yeah. So what General Flynn said from the stage was that there was that big Texas was going and they filed with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court rejected it. Now, the case that they actually rejected that all of the media outlets reported on was not the case that Sidney Powell was working on. Now, Sidney Powell is the main attorney, and she is such a patriot, and she's the one that's filing all of these different things. And so, I mean, it's just still hold hope, you guys. And if Biden makes the White House, obviously it was stolen. People are not going to take it lying down. And you know what? Actually, they probably will take it lying down.
They will.
But what's happening across the world right now is that people are that they're not going to take lying down is masks, it's forced vaccinations, it's lockdowns. If we're going to die anyways because we're going to be stuck on our house
in a communist empire,
yeah, people are going to rise up. This is the United States. I mean, the price of guns, the price of lead, which is maybe more valuable than Bitcoin. I don't know.
yeah, no, we were having lunch today, and it was a really good thing. When other guys sat down, and none of these guys have Bitcoin. We have to educate them. But I was educating on Bitcoin a little bit, and then one of the guys goes, I only buy precious metals. And I'm like, all right, that's not a bad choice. But then he's like specified as like, I mean lead. And I'm like, yep, I think that's the better choice between gold and silver. Lead is a good precious metal to own. So there you go. Yeah. And so where we're going with that. Yeah, so look, as you guys know, I think Biden will be president. And
no, he won't. Don't stop it.
I'm being realistic. I know you're
not.
I don't want him
bets
to
I've made.
I don't want him to be, but I think he will. And I think people are not going to rise up because if PB is like the biggest Trump supporting group in America, they're not violent. We just spend an entire day with them. they're not going to raise arms, even though almost all of them have weapons.
Yeah, but what would you
They
do?
have arms,
But like,
but they're not going to raise them.
But like, okay, so if you didn't have an option to, do what you're doing, right, in terms of your future, um, what would you do if you saw your home country being taken?
I would move to Texas and join the Texas fight to secede because I think it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say that Joe Biden is not gonna be president because if anything happens, Kamala Harris is taking over real quick.
I mean, if you guys saw Twitter, Texas is. I think like I never thought. I always thought it would be a joke for Texas to secede, but I think they will. I think they're gonna try. They may get Oklahoma to join them. Maybe
Florida?
No, too many retired people. No, I always said there's 3 states that deserve to be their own country, and Texas actually wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
There's 3 states that deserve to be their own country because they're just so different than any other state in America, not counting Alaska, which should always have been its own country. But Florida, California.
They should please California just leave.
The People's Republic of California is perfect.
Communism, California.
And Florida is its own freaking world. And another state is Utah. Utah is its own world. The Mormons have their own life rules. So I think those 3 states completely separate. And people always say Texas, 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 but no, like Texas and Oklahoma, they're very similar to me. Like as far as people's mentality, the way people think, Texas, Oklahoma, they should join if they're gonna secede from the U.S.
Shout out to No FOMO One. People will rise up. People decide who wins the election, not the court. And you know what's going to happen, right? Is if the court throws it out and there is all this, just all of this discontentment, it goes to, is it the House or the Senate? And they get 1 vote per state.
The House.
The House, and they get 1 vote per state. And the House is stacked in the favors of Republicans,
which is what the Democrats don't want. But we'll see. We'll see we'll know soon. Texas will not be allowed.
And I was reading some articles too that said like everyone has like the media keeps pushing out these fake dates, like, oh, it has to be decided by this day, by this day, by this day. But in reality, the only date that matters is January 20th, you guys. Also, FYI, just in case, I mean, when Trump was elected, he was inaugurated. The day that he was inaugurated, he was 70 years old, 7 months and 7 days. That might mean nothing to you, but to some of you guys, that might mean something because it's like, presidents are, I mean, people.
All right. All right. I like this comment. Yeah. Texas will not be allowed to secede. Look, the Soviet Union was 15 countries, and 14 of them are now independent countries, and they were not allowed to secede from the Soviet Union either. So you know what? That doesn't matter.
And Brexit, I mean, Brexit's kind of a bad example.
The U.S. did have a civil war in the 1800s and 1850, 60, something like that. I don't remember the exact date. Not an American. And though I should know. And that secession failed. But there's a big difference between that secession and the current potential Texas secession. Is that in that secession, morally, the South was wrong. This time, morally, Texas would be right. And that's why if they did decide to do it, it will happen. If the people of Texas really wanted that enough.
So everyone who's in Austin, if you don't want it, go back to California. Go back. All right, let's see what else is happening. I met so many cool people.
Texas will be given back to Mexico. Texas might want to be
Mexico.
Texas might want to be Mexico. It may be better off for the people of Texas. Oh God. So I get this a lot. Tone, you fled a dictatorship and now you want to vote for a wannabe king.
Oh my gosh. So the person who Biden is very clearly and openly someone who wants to in the simplest way possible, increase government control. He is the wannabe king. When you look at the history of presidents that we've had before, you see George Bush, a Clinton, a Bush, and then we were supposed to get Hillary again. Is that not the real
Yeah,
monarchy
yeah.
existing? And not only that, so okay, sorry, I missed Obama, of course, but Obama was Biden, and then we're gonna get a Biden again. Like, come on, you guys. Like, obviously, there's some secret club that's going on behind the scenes, and if you don't see that, and if you think that you're siding with Hollywood and you are part of the resistance, come on, like these people are the elites that we need to work against. Yeah, China's one of Dems,
Oh,
Republicans.
no, there's a lot of Democrats in Texas. A lot. It's not going to be easy
Yeah.
for Texas to do it. Of course not. But look, we'll deal with it when an actual president is inaugurated. We'll deal with it then. Right now, I do think that if Biden is elected, there's going to be a huge rally in Washington. I will fly back for that rally. I'll have gear on this time. I gotta, speaking of which, I should probably buy a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I'll have, you have one now.
One now.
I know.
Shout out to Sam. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, they hook up girls with free bulletproof vests. Yeah, the chauvinist, racist, anti-women club is giving bulletproof vests to women to protect them. Yeah, that makes sense. So there you go. All right. Any other comments?
Sky News in Australia is reporting that there was a major leak of nearly 2 million CCCP members, something never been seen before.
Also, guys, please, if you're watching this, please Google the definition of fascism.
Yeah.
Please Google that, because Trump is not fascism. He's not. Please Google the definition. I am losing 100 followers a day on Twitter. Thank you for reminding me. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. I'm so proud of you though, Tone, because like a lot of people, like I personally am kind of afraid to speak up about this, and I've been involved in politics for so long, but I'm kind of scared. So what does that say? Two realities simultaneously coexisting in America right now. One is obviously true, while the other is propaganda, mind controlled, pushed by international conglomerates wanting to consolidate power. Absolutely true. And the consolidation of power is happening. I mean, I was just reading my paper that I was writing about the CBDCs that are coming, but we are moving towards a one world government, guys. There's no question about it. And there's a reason why all of us here are involved in Bitcoin. And it's because this Bitcoin system is going to run parallel to this new economy that's being built. And we need to be able to still spend money without being censored.
The reason why I am a Trump supporter is because every president we've had in the US in my voting lifetime, so that goes back to, Bush, is for one global agenda, one global government, except Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was America's last hope to prevent a globalist agenda. And both sides, Democrats and Republicans, want Trump out so they can continue with a single globalist agenda. Mm-hmm. And this is not a conspiracy theory channel. It's just obvious based on policy that they make.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Joe will not be inaugurated. I love that. Who will run the One World Cup?
So motorist is warning me. Don't go down the Milo road, Tone.
Milo lost his career for what? Milo is crazy. Milo Yiannopoulos.
I mean, I've met him once.
Yeah.
I don't really know his full story.
I mean, he just was very good at expressing his opinions, but he did it in such a way that was like very offensive. But so what? Like if he's offensive, then don't listen to him. It doesn't mean that he should get kicked off of every single social platform out there. It's just like stop listening to him if you don't like what he has to say. But apparently ideas are dangerous. But burning down buildings as like BLM is not dangerous.
So the Trump with interests all over the world is a nationalist. That's correct. Trump does have business all over the world, but his priority is still to the U.S.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't take bribes from all over the world, unlike all the other politicians.
I mean, guys, he ended the war in Afghanistan that's been going on for like 16 years. And for me too, it's like I was always like, this is the two-party system is an absolute illusion of choice. That's what Ron Paul taught me, was just like it is a illusion of choice. But then when I saw Donald Trump running, I was like, ew, like, oh my goodness, here is another person who is just distracting us from what's really going on. Because at the time, Obama was bombing no less than 6 fucking countries. I see these videos on the internet of like innocent women and children just like freaking out because their house got bombed for no damn reason. And I was just like, ew, here's this like loser who's going to be in office and he's just distracting us from what's going on. But then one of the main things they campaigned on was ending the bad Iran deal. And I campaigned for the Iran deal to never get signed. I mean, there were people all in the streets in Florida, like with the people that I like were like, politically am with, and no media coverage at all. We had like huge people come and talk about how the Iran deal was horrible for us, right? Nothing got covered. Iran deal gets signed, completely fine. One of the things Trump campaigned on was ending this. And so you guys should probably notice, but in the last 4 years, where the fuck did ISIS go? He got rid of them. They're never going to give him props for that, but you know what he did? All he did was he stopped funding them through the Iran deal.
Right. Well, it's also question. Look, I don't want to sit here and talk conspiracies whether ISIS existed or didn't exist, but what's more likely is that ISIS was funded through some American channels to create these enemies for America to fight. And if Trump cut off the money, it was over. He didn't have to fight
them at all.
He didn't have to fight them. He had to just stop their funding.
Exactly. And that's what the Iran deal was. I mean,
that is not a tone statement for more KYC AML. That's not what he did. AML KYC is not here, which I'm still very against.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we do have to cut the political talk, because if this video also gets removed, I will get a strike and I will not be allowed to live stream. And I think we're pushing the envelope here.
We're
probably
talking about the Iran deal.
Probably already pushed it. So, hey guys, like I said, this is going to be my, well, maybe not my last political stream. Politics will end. Like once we know who the president is, I mean, I'm not going to, I think I'll probably cut back on a lot of this stuff. COVID needs to end. I didn't want this channel to be political. I didn't want to be talking about COVID at this point in time. I don't want to be talking about the election at this point in time. But it's
important.
It is important. It's important. And when it's not as important, I'll cut back on it. But for now, it's still important. I'm going to take one last peek at Bitcoin. We are going to call it a day. I mean, I'll probably be talking more about the election once we have a president, and that's coming soon. We're already in the middle of December. Time actually flies. There's your live chat.
Yeah, I like that. Flipper page, it says Ron Paul started the movement and passed the baton on to.
Well, Ron Paul is how I know about Bitcoin.
Exactly, Ron Paul's how I know about Bitcoin too. And what's interesting is like the chairman of the Proud Boys and most of the Proud Boys actually campaigned for Ron Paul in 2008 and 2012. And it's like, I'm an anarcho-capitalist. However, I understand that we live in the world that we live in now, and what else am I supposed to do? So.
The other important thing,
Bitcoin.
The other important thing you guys have to realize about PB is that they don't actually want to rule anyone. None of those guys want to be in government. None of those guys want to tell you what to do, which is the opposite of any leader of Antifa or BLM. They want to be in government power. They want to tell the rest of America how to live their life. But no one in PB has the desire. Sure, some of them may run for office, maybe, but that's not their life goal. They don't want to rule over other people. They're literally just there to try and defend what's left of, what the capitalist U.S.
Peace out is very important.
All right, there's not much to say about Bitcoin, guys. Like once we cross 19,600, that's when 19,400, and that's when I get bullish. That's what I've been saying. Here's the daily chart. As long as we are inside this channel, I am neutral. The closer we are to the top of the channel, the more bullish I get. The closer we are to the bottom of the channel, the more bearish I get. But I would not take on a position unless the channel is being broken one way or another. If we do break the bottom of that channel at 17,000, I am pretty confident we're going to go down to 1415. And if we break the channel above 19.4, I'm pretty confident we're going to go to 22.23. So at the least, you look at the size of the channel, which is 13% for $2,200. So if I drop that 13%, we either go that way, or I need the other arrow going from top to bottom and get that percentage, and that's 11% for 2260, same count. So now we go up. Should probably turn it this way. 22. There you go. Something like that. I should make that arrow green. So that's what I'm looking at. Either we're looking at breaking the top of that channel or the bottom, and I would expect us to go at least the size of the channel, and probably more than that. That takes us over to about 22K, a little under that, 21,750. But we'll probably hit 22K if we break the top of that channel. So I'll be watching this candle carefully tomorrow. Though in a perfect world, I don't really want it to break on this candle. I'd rather have it broken on the next candle. I like the longer it consolidates before a breakout, the stronger the breakout will be. Because if we break out tomorrow, then we're already a little overextended. So hopefully we'll break out on Tuesday. I would also be a little bit freer on Tuesday to enter my positions because tomorrow I'm pretty swamped. All right, and that's probably it. Whatever viewers I still have left, we're gonna call it a day. This video will probably get banned, maybe, and if it does, I may lose my ability to live stream for a month, but it was worth it.
David's asking how to join PB. Go to proudboys.usa. Are we ready to? Are we reading tea leaves? Ron Paul was the only guy that made sense. Still does, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. Ron Paul was never got a chance to run the general election for president.
Yeah, but Rand Paul's around, you guys. I honestly think Rand Paul might run one day.
Rand?
Yeah. Rand is
he's not
still,
as good.
He's not as good, but he compromises, which is necessary for politics sometimes. You need to compromise, unfortunately. But he's not as good. But he's still definitely a Paul.
All right. That's it, guys.
Sorry for doing too much politics, but it matters, okay?
Yeah, but also look at the title of this video. Exactly. I mean, this wasn't it says final report.
YouTube will make you stand back. Oh, you can't see
my
shirt.
Wait, I gotta cut the no, they will. Here, go ahead.
YouTube will make you stand back and it's not working. God. It's okay. They can't see your shirt. Maybe they're not supposed to. Tone and Eric run for office. No, well, so here's the thing: is that this is what I tell the PBs.
I can't run for office.
They fight the beast physically, brute force men, right? We starve the beast. You got to attack people strategically sometimes. I'm not going to be out fighting in the streets, and I don't know about Tone. Tone's pretty buff, so we might do it. But like, no, there's other ways to make sure that we fight against a system that is oppressing all of us, regardless of what skin color you are. If you are not part of the elites, even the people that are part of the elites, they don't understand that they're useful idiots. They are not going to have any position in the new world if it does come. But there are strategic ways to do that, and the financial system is absolutely one of them.
People are asking me to delete this video. No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna live dangerously, but I will text my text a couple of friends to download this video and back it up. So don't worry about that. But if this video does get taken down, and by the way, even if I set this video to private, YouTube can still flag it. I mean, they don't care. We'll see. It should be okay. I hope. I don't know. We're reporters. We talked about what we saw mostly, then we gave our opinion. We didn't talk about the F word, FR, you know where I'm going. Can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
So we didn't talk about that. So it'll be hard for them to ban it. Okay, guys. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a lot longer than expected. And don't believe everything you see on mainstream media and everything you read in the mainstream news. Get out there and see for yourself, and then you'll know what's really going on. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for watching, and see you all.
Bye.